to Bangor. From the Great North Woods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, a state lawmaker is proposing a bill that would increase fines for people that don't clear their entire vehicles of ice and snow.
Plus, Orland residents will soon decide whether to build a new fire station.
And Bangor, a Bangor organization, plans to build several 3D printed homes to help fill the need for affordable housing.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Well, here we go again. Another storm moving through the area this morning. A storm is working its way across Maine, bringing heavy snow to some areas, while others are seeing a mix of snow, rain, and freezing rain. Let's take a look outside to see what's happening. This is up in Greenville Junction, where it was snowing quite hard earlier. Now you can see it's just coming down a little bit. I poked my head outside the studio here in Bangor, and boy, Emma, it's really just pouring here in the Bangor area right now.
It is. There's some flooding in Bangor right now. Western and some northern areas can expect as much of a foot of fresh snow, which is definitely good for the skiing and snowboarding this weekend. It's mostly, though, turned to rain, like we said, here in Bangor, turning all that fresh snow on the roadways to slush and ice. Some schools have canceled classes for the day, and others are delaying their opening. Maine state offices and the legislature are also opening at 10 a.m. this morning. I know the University of Maine has delayed its opening until 11 a.m. You should plan to take it a little extra easy as you head out for the day and give yourself some more time. Stay off the roads in the morning if you can.
Yeah, right now I think it's really just becoming wet around here in Bangor, but we've heard about these big puddles of slush and everything, and if you're driving along at full speed and you hit one of those, could run into some problems. So
absolutely. Luckily, it's not freezing.
Yeah.
It's warm, so that takes the black ice problem off our
right. At least around this area.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Here's Devin Biggs with the full forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Marilyn Monroe Spas. Sign up for your VIP spa membership today for exclusive members-only services and benefits. It's a perfect gift for your Valentine. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. Winter storm warnings remain in effect until later this morning. Some areas will expire at about 7 a.m. for the winter weather advisory that's about in here, but the winter storm warning remains in effect until about 10 a.m. this morning. As we're starting to see that transition now from snow to that windshield mix and eventually to all rain this morning. I'm just pulling the map further off towards the north to see some of these expiration times will be a little bit different. It looks like Thursday at 7 p.m. for the northern parts of the state. So most of these areas will drop at around 10 a.m. this morning. But otherwise, though, we do have wind alerts in effect. This right here, high wind warnings in effect, and those will last until about 10 a.m. this morning as well, along with that wind advisory. The knee shades right about in here, that right there is, of course, some storm warnings until 10 a.m. and gale warnings until 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. seems to be that time frame for everything to expire for most of the state. But otherwise, we did have the snow moving through last night into this morning, and now we're starting to see a transition to that windshield mix and almost to all rain. So once we switch over to all rain, and temperatures may get into the upper 30s and even some 40s as temperatures basically get above freezing, things will begin to improve. As we do zoom things out right now, we're watching this action right here moving from the west, going toward the east. It will continue for a little while yet this morning, but as the morning progresses on, things will calm down. Maybe a few rain and snow showers during the afternoon period, but the fanfare will mainly be this morning. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, we have temperatures that will make it into the 40s and maybe cooling off briefly from time to time. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma?
All right, thank you, Devin. We'll look forward to that. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Department is urging people to be careful while removing all that snow. It has responded to 2 fatal incidents involving people who suffered a deadly medical event while removing heavy snow. The incidents were unrelated, but both involved people who were using a snowblower. As most know, removing snow is hard work, even with a snowblower. People are reminded to take it slow and don't work to the point of exhaustion. You can lift with your legs, not with your back. And also pay attention to what your body is telling you. You should also call 911 immediately if you're experiencing any symptoms of a heart attack. It's also a good idea to check on people from time to time when they have gone outside to remove snow.
With all this snow coming down, cleaning off your car may be top of mind. But under Maine law, drivers are not required to do so completely. Mel Meyer has more on the renewed push to change the law once and for all.
We've all seen it.
When we were driving yesterday, there was a car that had a big chunk of ice come off the top of it.
Or maybe we've done it. driven around with snow on the car.
It's always a danger.
Main drivers are required to keep the windshield, front drivers, and passenger windows clear.
It's a $150 fine. We do enforce that quite a bit.
But
as of right now, there's no law that prohibits the amount of snow on the top of your vehicle.
Representative Bruce White wants to change that.
There's little excuse to have snow built up on your vehicle 2 days after a snowstorm. So this is trying to get at some of those issues.
He plans to introduce a bill that would update a current law about having an unsecured load on your vehicle. It currently says certain things have to be reasonably prevented from falling off, like firewood, bolts, or other material.
So it's already there. What we want to do with this bill is clarify the gray area regarding the requirement to remove snow from vehicles.
A different bill introduced last year was met by concern from state police. The wording was seen as vague, which would make it challenging for officers.
I mean, if somebody gets hurt, maybe they should face a fine, but I don't think they should be required. I mean, they can certainly make it a law, but I don't see how it's going to be enforced.
Plus, the trucking industry was worried that it would be dangerous or impossible to clear snow and ice off the top of trailers.
My goal would be to address the concerns that we've heard in the past. It's a little more complicated than people realize.
All right. Well, meanwhile, in other news, a Levant man will spend 33 months in prison for fraudulently accepting more than $322,000 in pandemic relief funds. In August, 40-year-old Craig Frank pleaded guilty to wire fraud and money laundering for his fraudulent receipt of an economic injury disaster loan and Paycheck Protection Program funds. According to court records, Frank formerly owned CCF Acoustics and CCF Acoustical Systems. Neither company was in business, generated any income, or even had any employees during 2020 and 2021. Frank received Maine unemployment insurance benefits over that same time frame. In July 2020, Frank was arrested on felony fraud charges down in Florida. That same summer, Frank got more than $177,000 after submitting 2 fraudulent loan applications to the U.S. Small Business Administration. According to court documents, he made numerous false misrepresentations. He illegally used the funds to retain a criminal defense attorney and post bail in his Florida case. And in March of 2021, he got more than $145,000 from another loan. Records show he illegally used the pandemic relief funds to buy vehicles and other personal items.
A judge sentenced a Hamden man to 7 years in prison for possessing child sexual abuse materials on yesterday. 31-year-old Kevin McVicker pleaded guilty on August 12th of 2022. Court records show between about February 2015 and February 2021, McVicker possessed child pornography on his cell phone and electronic storage devices. He had obtained the images and videos online. Some of the images depicted children under 12. McVicker will serve 84 months behind bars, followed by 5 years of supervised release. He's also been ordered to pay $29,000 in restitution.
An Ellsworth man and Pleasant Point woman were indicted by a Penobscot County grand jury in connection with an alleged assault and kidnapping. 28-year-old Kanaya Sakabason and 41-year-old David Bennett were indicted on multiple counts, including robbery and kidnapping charges in connection with that November incident in Bangor. Police say officers were called to a residence on November 8th for a report of a male with numerous facial injuries, and he was holding a firearm. Officers say the male victim told them that he had been at a residence on Court Street with his girlfriend when 2 individuals arrived, physically assaulted him, and then cut him with an edged weapon. He said he and his girlfriend were then held at gunpoint and locked in a bathroom until he was able to escape by jumping from a window. Officers were later able to locate the female victim in that case.
Brewer's Police Department was put in the spotlight in a recent article from the Bangor Daily News. The headline read, "Brewer Police are behind a GOP lawmaker's attempt to tighten gun laws." Deputy Police Chief Chris Martin, who was interviewed for the article, says that headline comes from a conversation that was taken out of context. Deputy Chief Martin tells us he's provided suggestions on how to address illegal gun possession in Maine, but that he can't comment on any proposed legislation at this stage. Here's some of what he had to say.
We really didn't have any comment on the bill because it hasn't been issued out of the revisor's office yet, so we don't know what the bill says. we did make suggestions, legislative suggestions, to the people who represent our area, and one of those suggestions was enhancing the penalties of people who are prohibited persons for possession of firearms. That was a suggestion that we made. And we also made a suggestion to have a law in the books that essentially outlawed straw purchases. And what I mean by straw purchases is somebody obtaining a firearm on behalf of somebody else who can't legally possess it. So the article that came out in the newspaper, it kind of had a sensational headline. We don't have a comment on the actual legislation because it hasn't come out of the revisor's office. That was I clearly said that yesterday, but I also commented on the very things that I've discussed. Unfortunately, not all of that makes it to print, but hopefully people can understand and look beyond the headline. That's where we're coming from. We hope that the bill represents what we have in mind, and we'll see where it goes.
Well, meanwhile, in other news, Belfast School Committee is considering whether to offer condoms to students through a program called Support for Sexually Active Students. The proposed program still requires some fine-tuning, but essentially it will allow for students to seek out help from the nurse or other administrators and guidance counselors if they have any questions or need a confidential place to talk about sex. Part of this will include the availability of condoms if needed.
I think it's really important that we back the nurses on this, regardless of how we feel personally. I think the reality is reality, and it's important that we do everything we can to help our students be put in a good position for now and in their future.
Well, the idea has now been sent to the policy committee for more work. The superintendent says that she expects this may come up in the next few school board meetings.
The Maine Department of Transportation has released its new 3-year work plan. It contains almost 2,600 individual work items with a total value of $3.94 billion. The statement from the department says one of the biggest challenges will be structural. Maine is mostly a rural state with challenging geology and weather, as well as a small, spread-out, aging population. To meet those needs, Maine has a vast multimodal transportation system. The statement says another challenge shared by others across the country is the cost of doing business. Since 2018, Maine DOT has experienced construction cost increases, averaging between 40 to 50%. Some of the work highlighted in the plan includes 302 bridge projects, paving projects, and highway and safety projects. It also includes a new hybrid electric vessel for the Maine State Ferry service that will go between Lincolnville and Islesboro, as well as replacing 75 miles of rail on CSX's Waterville-Mattawamkeag line to allow heavier freight cars and increased speeds.
All right. I hear that they're kind of having fun trying to come up with a name for that new ferry down along the coast, too.
Cool.
I think there's the story in the paper today about that. So
I haven't heard anything like that across the country. That'll be quite special.
Yeah, kind of neat.
Progress.
Yep.
The time now is 8:13. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear about the 3D printed homes that will make up an entire community soon in Bangor.
But first, another check of our weather forecast. We can expect a wintry mix to rain here in the Bangor area today. Other areas out west and up north can expect more snow. The high near 43 degrees. Decreasing clouds tonight with lows dropping down to 15. Tomorrow, a mostly sunny day with highs near 26.
If you're eligible for Medicare and Medicaid, a Medicare Advantage plan from Anthem Maine Health can come with all the benefits you want and zero compromises. Just go to anthemmainehealth.com/answers or call 855-753-3928 for a one-on-one Medicare plan review. Ask about our $0 monthly premium plans that include dental, vision, and hearing coverage, along with transportation, a free gym membership, and $0 copay for prescriptions, all for zero extra cost. Plus, you could be eligible for extra benefits to help you save even more. We have plans with up to $2,500 a year to help you pay for over-the-counter health items, groceries, and living expenses like cell phone, electric, or water bills, all on a single prepaid MasterCard you can use at thousands of locations nationwide. Call Anthem Maine Health at 855-753-3928 or visit anthemmainehealth.com/answers and get a Medicare Advantage plan with zero compromises for you and your wallet.
Raoul's Garage in Dover Foxcroft wants to know the local forecast. They log on to foxbangor.com. Raoul's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance.
The NFC Championship kicks off Sunday on Fox.
You conquer the moment. Wait for your brother today.
Brock Purdy looks to continue his storybook run for the Niners as he leads San Fran for a chance at another title. But Jalen Hurts and the top-seeded Eagles went wire to wire as the best team in the NFC. Now they look to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl. The NFC Championship presented by Intuit TurboTax. Pre-game coverage begins Sunday at 1 Eastern with the game at 3 on Fox.
Welcome back, everyone. A local town will soon be voting on a multi-million-dollar proposal to update part of its emergency services. Orland residents will decide whether to build a new fire station. Devin Dagnall met with officials to learn more.
In a matter of days, the town of Orland will be voting on a $4 million proposal for a new fire station. According to Orland Fire Committee Chair John Barlow, the proposal has been brought forward because the department has outgrown the current station.
It's almost a 50-year-old metal building that they're in right now, and that building was really designed for about 30 years.
One of the firefighters at the Orland station, Richard Crampton, says that the station has a list of problems that goes on and on.
The overhead is too low for the new trucks.
The bays are small.
There's also an issue with flooding.
When we push water into the drains, eventually they fill up and start gurgling out other ones.
And on and on.
The present station is really quite drafty.
And that old insulation, I'm not even sure what it is. It's not asbestos, but it comes crumbling down all over us.
Here in the hose bed of engine 511, we can see one of the biggest problems with the current structure. The ceiling is only a few feet above my head, lessened by the fact that there's an I-beam right here. So when firefighters get back from a scene to repack the hose, it's far more difficult than it ever should be.
I think a lot of people are concerned for the price, and I don't blame them. That's a lot of money, but it won't go away.
According to Barlow, the proposed budget will be used to construct a completely new station on Gray Meadow Road, with higher ceilings, more bays, dedicated stations for decontamination, and better ventilation and drainage.
This is not a Taj Mahal. It's a basic station. It's somewhat larger, but it should be much more energy efficient than the old station.
The vote for the new station will be held in Orland on February 1st. In Orland, Devin Dagnall for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Bangor is on track to have the first 3D printed neighborhood in Maine. David Ledford has the story.
Panquis, a Maine nonprofit organization that works to eliminate poverty in the state, has received $3.3 million in government funding to address the lack of affordable housing for low-income Mainers. The money will be used to purchase 9 new 3D printed homes from the University of Maine's Advanced Structures and Composites Center. The university unveiled the homes last year with the help of Governor Janet Mills and Senator Susan Collins. According to Panquis President and CEO Kara Hay, the neighborhood is the first step in providing a cost-effective solution to a growing issue in the state.
We have a housing crisis. We simply don't have enough housing. Everybody has someone they know in their lives that can't afford where they're staying or they can't find a place. And so we need solutions. And right now, one of the biggest barriers is cost and the amount of time it takes to actually construct a home.
The homes are bio-based, made from a paste using wood flour, which university representatives say is completely recyclable. Habib Dogger, the executive director of the Advanced Structures and Composites Center at the university, says that they had always planned to use their technology to help the community.
We're delighted that we have an opportunity here to help the homeless in the area and the low-income homes as well. That was the plan from day one, is to have opportunities to build homes for those who can't afford them today or who can't have them at all.
The houses will be constructed over a period of 4 years to allow the builders time to perfect the design and make them reliable during Maine's winters, and get feedback from residents about their quality. Hay says that Panquis is currently searching for the best location for the new community, and will be looking for residents for the homes soon. In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
January 28th will mark 36 years since NASA's Space Shuttle Challenger exploded shortly after takeoff, killing the entire crew. The Challenger Learning Center of Maine holds a day of remembrance every year to honor the past, while also looking to the future of space exploration. And this year, they're offering something special, a chance for you to be part of a virtual mission into space.
So this really is a good time of year for us to reflect upon why we're here, literally why our organization is here, and then really think about the wonderful things that have come from that in memory of the astronauts that were part of the Challenger shuttle mission.
Well, it's a virtual event where families can connect from all across Maine and experience a free moon mission. You can register for the event on January 26th through the center's website, which is astronaut.org. Again, that's astronaut.org. They have all kinds of neat programs there. This might be great for like homeschool kids too, you know.
Absolutely.
You can get out there and do that kind of thing.
The Challenger Center really serves the local community in a lot of ways, and they offer a lot of learning materials and stuff for the youth.
I've learned some things there myself.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yep.
It's fun. The time is now 8:21. After the break, we'll hear about how the town of Belfast is offering some special local deals to combat cabin fever.
That and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Hello, Maine. This is Steve McKay. It's a wintry mix out there, but pockets of orange are standing out against the white blanket of snow throughout the state. Next Home Experience is listing and selling homes just like yours. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience.
Does your vehicle need a little more work? Have an odd sound coming from somewhere? Bring it over to Jackson's Automotive in Old Town. We have the best technicians and offer a fair price. We also accept all aftermarket protection plans. Now, if you're unable to drive your vehicle to us, we can help you get it here. Also, if you'd like to protect your vehicle for years to come, we offer Wool Wax undercarriage protection. We're located at 546 Main Street in Old Town. Give us a call at 827-2676.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Boynton's Greenhouse, Brick House Kitchen, Chestnut Street Automotive LLC, Nicotal Stove Shop, Northwoods Real Estate, and Stearns Lumber Company.
On the next Last Man Standing, Ed gets some expert help with his love life.
I thought you and Wendy broke up.
Yeah, but he sends her flowers every week in a desperate attempt to win her back.
I have some experience as a love doctor.
And Eve gives Boyd some tips on fishing.
Is that really true? Yep, they just float to the top and you scoop them up with a net.
We're not fishing with hand grenades.
Last Man Standing.
this afternoon starting at 4 on Fox 22.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
A new program is helping residents score a win-win, shopping local and curing cabin fever with some retail therapy. Our Matthew Dronsick explains.
Shopping and bargains, two words that get the attention of many people. On February 4th, local Belfast businesses will be offering discounts and are ready for customers looking to take advantage of the day.
We're really excited to get the community get together and teach them about what we offer here.
Businesses like Colburn Shoe Store, Home Supply Center, and Belfast Fiber Arts will be discounting everything in their stores up to 50% off.
Everyone participates to make it a full community day here in downtown where you can shop, eat, and get great discounts from multiple stores here in town.
For a town that relies on seasonal tourism in the summer, winter can make it difficult for these local stores to stay busy.
This time of year is definitely the hardest for us because there aren't tourists. Anything that can bring people to town is really, really helpful.
The businesses are ready to cash in with this year's event and are happy to help residents with a little retail therapy in the process.
We just enjoy being together, and it's good to get people out on the streets, walking into the fresh air. And it's good to have people come into our studio and say, gee, I'd like to try making something. I'd like to try learning a new fiber art.
The event is a little over a week away, and our Belfast Executive Director Amanda Cunningham says anyone can still participate.
They just have to let me know. Just email me at director@ourtownbelfast.org.
In Belfast, Matthew Juroncic reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Belfast.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
Yeah.
I love Belfast, you know.
They have some great shopping, too.
Yep.
And all sorts of variety, too, with their local shops. I know a lot of places don't have as much variety, and, that's a one-stop shop for almost anything.
Yeah, they've got, one of my favorite, I love hardware stores. And
Yeah.
They've got, one of my favorite hardware stores of all time. They have a little bit of everything from tools to camping stuff.
Yep.
And they've got those old creaky wood floors and the smell of a hardware store.
Everything. I love it.
Cool.
Yep, you're on
Yeah.
point with all those points.
Yep.
Well, the time now is 8:25.
Time to get a full look at our weather forecast. Here's Devin.
Thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Marilyn Monroe Spas. Sign up for your VIP spa membership today for exclusive members-only services and benefits. It's the perfect gift for your Valentine. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. Winter storm warnings remain in effect until about 10 a.m. or so. That's for the areas highlighted here in the pink. The purple shade all to the south and west. Winter weather advisory until about 7 a.m. or so. We also have wind advisories and high wind warnings. And both of these advisories here will drop at about 10 a.m. this morning, so things will start to calm down by that time frame. And then one more set of advisories to talk about. That's storm warnings and gale warnings here. Both of those will also drop at around 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. seems to be that threshold for a lot of these advisories to drop. For now, though, we're still seeing a lot of this action moving through. We have a wintry mix right now that is presently developing, but it's starting to switch over to all rain. So we've had snow in the northern ends of the state. Now we're seeing the wintry mix developing. And now we also have the rain moving in as well. So we're starting to see that transition from snow to rain. So once we switch over to rain and temperatures get above freezing, things will improve road-wise. But, of course, we have snow on the ground, so we may have to be careful with a little bit of flooding in a few spots as well. Here's the bigger picture. Within the last several hours, it started out as all snow, and that wintry mix line has been moving in as we start to see that transition to all rain. So we'll start seeing this backing off as the morning progresses, because the back line is actually not too far away. There's the front right there. As it lifts off towards the north and east, a lot of that precipitation will be done by this morning, so anything later beyond 9 a.m. won't be anything too extreme. So futurecast moving forward, of course, later on this morning, a lot of the rain will end. Maybe a few rain and snow showers during the afternoon period if you're lucky. Otherwise, maybe a mixture of clouds and sun. But a lot of the clearing will take place later on tonight. We may have some clouds passing through for Friday morning, but otherwise a decent amount of sunshine as well. But as we head towards the overnight period, as we head towards Friday evening, the skies really begin to clear out. So we're looking pretty decent as we head towards your Friday. We just got to get through today first. They'll have to watch for a little bit more cloud cover as we head towards your Saturday with another wave of energy that might pass through. Some areas might still experience some icing this morning, mainly in the northern ends of the state. Nothing too extreme. Anything that falls will be less than 1/10 of an inch, so it might be slippery for a while, but nothing too extreme. Any additional snowfall by this point as well won't be anything too ridiculous either. It will mainly be in the northern ends of the state where a few inches can fall, as most of us are switching over to that wintry mix, and of course all rain at this point. And of course beyond 9 a.m. any additional rainfall won't be too ridiculous, maybe 1/10 of an inch or less before we're all finished up there. So your forecast for today looks a little bit like this. We'll be in the lower 40s today. That wintry mix is switching over to all rain. That southeast wind getting up to about 30 miles per hour. Later on tonight, 15 degrees, decreasing clouds on the way as the precipitation tapers off. That west wind at about 30 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, mid-20s, mostly sunny, west wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. All righty, here's a look at Marilyn Monroe Spa's extended forecast. So a slight chance for snow showers on Saturday, otherwise mostly cloudy, highs in the upper 30s. Mid-30s on Sunday, rain and snow showers back in the forecast. Mostly cloudy Monday, highs in the mid-20s.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. Find new experiences, find new roads. Qualified lessees with a current eligible lease can get this Silverado for around $399 a month. Or current Chevy owners can get $2,500 total cash allowance when you purchase.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
Denture wearers can go wild with wildly adhesive C-Bond denture seals. Get 75% stronger all-day hold thanks to gradual release technology. Go wild. C-Bond. Wildly adhesive.
A woman from Hamden has a special way of remembering those from our past.
Just because they are gone does not mean that we just write them off.
We'll hear from her Monday on Fox 22 News at 10.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
Yesterday, the Justice Department announced a civil rights investigation into a Tennessee traffic stop that turned fatal. Now, the city of Memphis is on edge ahead of the release of police body camera video. Fox's Carolyn Shively has details on the federal investigation from Washington.
Lawyers for the family of Tyree Nichols say Memphis police beat the black man like a human piñata in video that is reminiscent of Rodney King. On Wednesday, the Justice Department and FBI announced a criminal civil rights investigation into his death.
It will be methodical, and it will continue until we gather all the relevant facts. As with any other federal investigation, we will go where those facts take us.
Memphis police report they pulled Nichols over for alleged reckless driving on January 7th, which led to a confrontation. They claim the 29-year-old took off running, which led to a second confrontation. Lawyers for his family say police pepper sprayed, tased, and kicked Nichols. He died in the hospital 3 days later. The 5 officers, who are also black, have since been fired. But after viewing police body cam video, the family wants the men to be charged with first-degree murder.
I don't have any feelings right now. I don't even know I don't know anything right now. All I know is my son, Tyree, is not here with me anymore.
Memphis is now bracing for potential unrest.
My takeaway overall is that whatever we're going to see on that video when it gets released is so terrible that the authorities know they have to get out in front of it by reassuring the public that they're working on the case.
It will be another week or possibly 2 until the body cam video is released to the public. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Well, meanwhile, a new coalition is forming with the goal of getting hundreds of tanks to Ukraine as soon as possible as the Russian offensive ramps up in the east. Fox's Alex Hogan with that story from Kyiv.
That's what this is about, helping Ukraine defend and protect Ukrainian land.
President Biden making it official today. The U.S. will send 31 Abrams battle tanks to Ukraine to help push back a Russian offensive. It's a reversal of a previous decision. The Pentagon had said the Abrams tanks were not a good fit for the Ukrainian military because they require extensive training and maintenance. Details are currently being worked out between Washington and Kyiv.
We'll begin to train the Ukrainian troops on these issues of sustainment, logistics, and maintenance as soon as possible. Delivering these tanks to the field is going to take time.
The announcement came just hours after Germany said it would supply Ukraine with Leopard battle tanks. A number of other Western allies also sending Leopards, including Poland and Finland. But with the Russian offensive moving deeper into eastern Ukraine, some here are worried the initial shipment might not get here on time or in big enough numbers to turn the tide.
We need more than 20 tanks because in comparing, Russians have much more weapon systems and much more tanks.
Moscow says that today's announcement will not make a difference, and any American tanks sent to Ukraine will, quote, burn. There are also signs Russia is planning a new offensive, with Vladimir Putin doubling down on his justification for the war.
The aim is to protect Russia from the threats that are created on the territories that are historically ours.
Germany says its tanks should arrive within a matter of 3 months. There's still no word on when American tanks would arrive here in Ukraine. In Kyiv, Ukraine, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
Still to come here on the second half of our show, a community in Waldo County is organizing a benefit concert for a couple that has lost their home in a fire.
That and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
There's some things that go better together.
Burger and fries, soup and salad.
Thank you. Like your workplace benefits and retirement savings. With Voya, considering all your financial choices together, can help you make smarter decisions for a more confident financial future.
Hey, a tandem bicycle. You can't do that by yourself. Voya, well planned, well invested, well protected.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Branch Pond Computers, Cormier Bus Service, Kelly Joe State Farm Insurance Agent, Shear Attraction Salon, Tilton's Auction, and Whitney Supermarket.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Thursday, January 26th, 2022. It's also National Peanut Brittle Day. Still a little bit of a mystery when it comes to the origins of peanut brittle, but there's one story about a woman in New England who was attempting to make taffy in 1890, but she messed up the recipe. Not wanting to waste any of the ingredients, she continued cooking it and ended up with an accidental peanut bark, which all her friends found to be delicious. That's just one version of how it all started.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
My Aunt Annie used to make peanut brittle every now and then, gave it to you in that little tin container kind of thing,
Yep.
and which is so good.
Is it considered a New England thing?
I don't know about that. I think it's around, but maybe it started
If this is
here.
true,
Yeah.
right, it would make sense.
Yeah.
And I'm sure back then sugar was a lot more expensive and valuable, so good for her.
Yeah, you don't want to waste anything.
Right, she turned a mistake into gold.
Yeah.
On this day in history, in 1962, the United States launched Ranger 3 to land scientific instruments on the moon. But because of computer problems, the probe ended up missing its target by more than 22,000 miles. In 1979, the Dukes of Hazzard began its 7th season run on television, and in 1998, President Bill Clinton forcefully denied having an affair with a White House intern. He would later face an impeachment after being charged with lying under oath to a federal grand jury.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I think that was the quote.
That's iconic.
Yeah, big stuff around the time.
Yeah.
Well, today's birthdays include talk show host Ellen DeGeneres, who is 65, Hockey Hall of Famer Wayne Gretzky is 62, and R&B singer Anita Baker is 64. Here's some others to think about today. This is also the birthday for the late actor Paul Newman and guitarist Eddie Van Halen. That'd be cool if they got together up in heaven, if there is one, and maybe
I like to think so.
Talking about things.
And all of our pets.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Some great music and other things going on. So.
Absolutely.
Anyway, the weather is just kind of a mess today. It's just kind of raining in Bangor right now. You can imagine all the parking lots that have been covered with snow and ice. They're all just kind of glare ice right now.
Yep.
The road's mostly wet. So you want to take it easy as you head out. If you're heading out west, I know like Dover, Foxcroft, Greenville, that whole area up through Millinocket, they're expecting a lot more snow. So
Right.
you're dealing with more winter-like conditions there.
Right. Of course, it's not super freezing conditions, so that does help a little bit.
Yeah.
But still, maybe if you can, wait to leave until plows can get it more taken care of. Here's Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Marilyn Monroe Spas. Sign up for your VIP spa membership today for exclusive members-only services and benefits. It's a perfect gift for your Valentine. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. Winter storm warnings remain in effect until later this morning. Some areas will expire at about 7 a.m. for the winter weather advisory that's about in here, but the winter storm warning remains in effect until about 10 a.m. this morning. As we're starting to see that transition now from snow to that windshield mix and eventually to all rain this morning. I'm just pulling the map further off towards the north to see some of these expiration times will be a little bit different. It looks like Thursday at 7 p.m. for the northern parts of the state. So most of these areas will drop at around 10 a.m. this morning. But otherwise, though, we do have wind alerts in effect. This right here, high wind warnings in effect, and those will last until about 10 a.m. this morning as well, along with that wind advisory. Then these shades right about in here, that right there is, of course, some storm warnings until 10 a.m. and gale warnings until 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. seems to be that time frame for everything to expire for most of the state. Otherwise, we did have the snow moving through last night into this morning, and now we're starting to see it transition to that wintry mix and almost to all rain. So once we switch over to all rain, and temperatures make it into the upper 30s and even some 40s as temperatures basically get above freezing, things will begin to improve. As we do zoom things out right now, we're watching this action right here moving from the west, going toward the east. It will continue for a little while yet this morning, but as the morning progresses on, things will calm down. Maybe a few rain and snow showers during the afternoon period, but the fanfare will mainly be this morning. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, we have temperatures that will make it into the 40s and maybe cooling off briefly from time to time. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, the Waldo County community is helping a Maine musician get back on his feet. On December 20th of last year, Bryce Sinclair and his wife Marilyn Wood Sinclair lost their house to a fire. The blaze destroyed $300,000 worth of pianos, music equipment, and vinyl records. Now, community members and friends are organizing a benefit concert at the American Legion in Belfast. Friends of Sinclair spoke about what it means to support that local musician.
I think it's going to be uplifting, and it's going to be a positive experience. I think it'll help lift them up. And it'll be great to help Bryce out and Marilyn and help them get back on their feet.
Well, the concert is scheduled to take place this Sunday, January 29th at 2 p.m. at the American Legion Hall. Proceeds from the day will support the Sinclair family. Let's hope lots of people turn out for that.
Yeah, it's always good for the community to come together after an event like that.
Yeah.
Still to come here this morning, Tyler Cruz and Ryan Sudol will have your sports updates.
Don't go away.
It's your journey. Own every mile in an available H-Track all-wheel drive Hyundai SUV. Lease an all-wheel drive 2023 Tucson for $239 a month, or get 2.9% APR for 60 months. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
If you're eligible for Medicare and Medicaid, a Medicare Advantage plan from Anthem Maine Health can come with all the benefits you want and zero compromises. Just go to anthemainehealth.com/answers or call 855-753-3928 for a one-on-one Medicare plan review. Ask about our $0 monthly premium plans that include dental, vision, and hearing coverage, along with transportation, a free gym membership, and $0 copay for prescriptions, all for zero extra cost. Plus, you could be eligible for extra benefits to help you save even more. We have plans with up to $2,500 a year to help you pay for over-the-counter health items, groceries, and living expenses like cell phone, electric, or water bills, all on a single prepaid MasterCard you can use at thousands of locations nationwide. Call Anthem Maine Health at 855-753-3928 or visit anthemmainehealth.com/answers and get a Medicare Advantage plan with zero compromises for you and your wallet.
For over 75 years, Ariens has been blowing away the competition. Ariens snow throwers simply overpower other brands. See for yourself by watching the screen and then head to Jim Small Engines in Arlington, where these fabulous high-throwing Ariens snow throwers are on sale at unbelievable prices. Jim Small Engines brings 40 years experience in sales and service, and Jim knows that Ariens snow throwers are the best, but supplies are limited, so watch the screen and take advantage of the great sale prices on Ariens snow throwers now at Jim Small Engines, Snows Corner Road, Arlington.
Pictionary. This is the most amount of shade I've ever seen thrown on Pictionary, and I have to tell you, I like it.
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. While we may have frigid temps still on the way, it is never too early to talk some baseball. Last year, Maine baseball had a stellar regular season, but a disappointing end is driving the Black Bears to reach new heights this year. With the returning cast of characters, Ryan Sudol has more.
It's kind of in the back of our head a little bit, and we have a chip on our shoulder, and we're just going to play like that.
Maine baseball were regular season America East champs last year and hosted the tournament. But 2 straight losses ended their NCAA hopes.
Last year's last year. New page, new game, new team.
This new team in 2023 is looking forward to turning the page. They lost a few key contributors, but they're bringing back some big pieces as well.
I like where our pitching staff is at, which was a big-time weak point for us last year. We got some good returners.
That includes sophomore Caleb Lees, one of the leaders of the staff who blossomed into the role after some valuable experience rookie year.
I'm excited to be there, and I'm going to try to give it my all and limit the walks, compete more in the zone, and just extend my innings more.
On the offensive side, junior infielder Quinn McDaniel led the team in hits last year and spent his offseason adding muscle while honing his craft.
I gained some weight. I got a little stronger, but I'd say every year you kind of learn a little bit and you just kind of keep carrying it with you and add it to your game.
And no matter how last season ended or how the lead up to this one has gone, head coach Nick Durba says it's all about creating competition to fuel the team's fire.
Whether we just won a World Series, whether we just got knocked out, we are here to create competition within our roster. And I think that's the best thing that we could do for these young men and for the chance for Maine baseball to win.
But for some, it's much simpler.
We just want to have that winning mentality and kind of not be afraid of anything and kind of be some dogs out on the field.
In Orono, I'm Ryan Sudol, ABC 7 Fox 22 Sports.
All right, thanks for that, Ryan. Looking forward to see what Maine baseball can do. This spring, they were a blast to cover last year. Let's stay with the Black Bears, and we will head to the hardwood now. It was a morning tip-off for Maine women's basketball on Wednesday. They're looking for their second straight win. Black Bears wrapping up the season series with UMass Lowell. Maine took Game 1 earlier in the year. First quarter, Adriana Smith, she's going to get this one inside to Paula Gallego, and Gallego is going to spin and get it to go with the left. Nice move there from the sophomore. Now it's the Riverhawks. Ivory Finley gets it on the break. A sweet stroke from outside. That pulls them within 7. But Maine was in control all day. Here is Abby Lawrence. She's going to find J.C. Christopher. Christopher is money from the outside. Beautiful shot right there. And then right at the end of the first half, Miss Maine basketball would do it again. Here she is, Christopher, cashing in from 3. Maine wins again, 61-50. All right, now we'll head to the Cross Center with the Black Bears men's basketball trying to go back-to-back against America East #1s. They're facing the Riverhawks. Halfway through the second half, the Jaden Clayton to Kellen Tynes. Nice step back and nothing but net on the long range, too. 50-48 Maine. 5 minutes left now. Tynes finds Christian Sfeerbergs, and he nails the 3. That's a 6-point Black Bear lead. Lowell would not go away, though. Here is a 3-pointer. That's off the mark, but Connor Withers is going to clean it up, and that makes it a 5-point game with 3 left. But Maine would hold those pesky Riverhawks off. Here is Getty Yusupaitis. A couple minutes later, he beats the shot clock buzzer with a nice floater off the glass. Black Bears win 75-50, biggest win of the year. All right, let's go to high school now. A Class A doubleheader down in Newport, Nokomis, and Coney going at it. We're going to start with the girls here in the third quarter. Coney is up, but the Warriors are storming back. Cameron King recovers the loose ball. Nice move to go baseline and get to the hoop for 2. Then it's the Rams. Another nice move. This one from Abby Morrill. She finds Abigail Clark for the and 1, bounces around and goes in for the Rams. To the fourth we go. King finds Addison Hawthorne. Nice left hand. Warriors led by 2 late, but here is Coney. They're going to get the steal, and then Morrill on the fast break. She pulls up, she drains it, ties the game at 55. So we have some free basketball in Newport, and the Rams would take over in overtime. Nice move here from Sage Fortin. Coney wins 65-60. All right, to the boys we go now. A big Class A North matchup. 2 of the top teams in the region, Rams and Warriors again. We're going to start in the first quarter. Rams with it. Parker Sargent, nice take on the inside, double clutch, and he is off the bank for 2. And then for Nokomis, Madden White going baseline. Nice move for 2 from the senior. This was back and forth early on between both teams. Cam Doan here finds Dom Napolitano for the reverse layup. Nokomis led by 2 at the half, and then they would turn it on in the second. Here's Alex Grant. Money from the outside, nothing but net. And then Madden White, strong take to the hoop. Warriors, they win this one 71-60. All right, finally to Bucksport, where the Golden Bucks will host the Ponies of Foxcroft Academy. We will start in the third quarter. Foxcroft's Sam Ossenfort, she finds Maddie Kimball. She gets the 3 to go. Final seconds of the third now. It's Bucksport's Sam Sear. She finds Riley Coombs. She beats the buzzer off the bank. Bank is open on Wednesday night. Foxcroft up big, though, and it would stay that way in the fourth. Ossenfort to Kimball to Allie Smith. She gets blocked, gets her own rebound, and puts it in. And then finally, it's going to be Ossenfort to Haley Page. Nice pass to Abby Knapp underneath. She makes the lay-in. Ponies would go on to win this one 62-39. All right, that's all the time we have for sports. Be right back after the break.
Fear, pain, and anxiety are all feelings associated with dental treatments, but it doesn't have to be that way. Dental lasers offer a way to remove tooth decay without using the dental drill. In fact, we do most dental fillings here at Twin City Dental without numbing, so no needle. And for treatments like root canals or having many teeth extracted, we also provide IV sedation. So call Twin City Dental for your next dentist appointment.
It's time to start planning that new home or garage you've been thinking about. Hammond Lumber Company is here to help, offering complete building packages with everything you need. With several options on their website and thousands of unique plans in their in-house drawing catalog. Hammond will help you make your dreams a reality. Choose your materials from Hammond's extensive showroom displays, and Hammond will deliver your order from any of the locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Start planning your new home or garage at Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
What are you doing here? I've got this feeling we'll meet again.
Lease a new 2023 Nero Hybrid LX for $309 a month.
Sometimes big truck accidents can result in big case settlements. These are just some of the big case results I fought to get my clients. If a big truck hurts you, we'll make them pay you every single dollar you deserve for your injuries. I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. If you've been hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a big truck? Come out on top. Call the twos. Call 222-2222.
Paying attention at work and the ability to pay emergency expenses are both going down. Fox Business Network's David Asman has a look at the story and more coming up on Fox Means Business.
Well, more employees checking out before clocking out. According to a new Gallup poll, nearly 20% of full and part-time workers say they're actively disengaged at work. That's up 4% from when the pandemic began back in 2020. Stocks mixed on Wednesday. The Dow jumped for a fourth straight day, while the S&P 500 and NASDAQ both dropped. Some disappointing tech earnings had investors feeling skittish. And speaking of earnings, Tesla beat expectations last quarter. Revenue also beat expectations, hitting a record high of over $24 billion. Inflation is making it harder for Americans to keep up with their finances. Nearly 3 in 4 adults tell the company Bankrate they are saving less money this year due to higher prices. And because of that, about 6 in 10 are unable to cover a $1,000 emergency expense. And it could get even worse in the near future because 13% feel less confident about their financial outlook. In fact, WalletHub says consumer sentiment is at the lowest level since December 2020. That's business. I'm David Asman.
And now one last check of our forecast. I'm told the roads are pretty much just wet around here, as we've been saying, as the crews arrive for the day. Still want to take it easy out there, especially around parking lots where there's some snow on there.
Good point. Good point. Here's meteorologist Evan Biggs.
Thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Marilyn Monroe Spas. Sign up for your VIP spa membership today for exclusive members-only services and benefits. It's the perfect gift for your Valentine. All right, let's get things rolling after this morning. Winter storm warnings remain in effect until about 10 a.m. or so. That's for the areas highlighted here in the pink. The purple shade all to the south and west. Winter weather advisory till about 7 a.m. or so. We also have wind advisories and high wind warnings. And both of these advisories here will drop at about 10 a.m. this morning, so things will start to calm down by that time frame. And then one more set of advisories to talk about. That's storm warnings and gale warnings here. Both of those will also drop at around 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. seems to be that threshold for a lot of these advisories to drop. For now, though, we're still seeing a lot of this action moving through. We have a wintry mix right now that is presently developing, but it's starting to switch over to all rain. So we've had snow in the northern ends of the state. Now we're seeing the wintry mix developing. And now we also have the rain moving in as well. So we're starting to see that transition from snow to rain. So once we switch over to rain and temperatures get above freezing, things will improve road-wise. But, of course, we have snow on the ground, so we may have to be careful with a little bit of flooding in a few spots as well. Here's the bigger picture. Within the last several hours, it started out as all snow, and that wintry mix line has been moving in as we start to see that transition to all rain. So we'll start seeing this backing off as the morning progresses because the back line is actually not too far away. There's the front right there. As it lifts off towards the north and east, a lot of that precipitation will be done by this morning, so anything later beyond 9 a.m. won't be anything too extreme. So futurecast moving forward, of course, later on this morning, a lot of the rain will end. Maybe a few rain and snow showers during the afternoon period if you're lucky. Otherwise, maybe a mixture of clouds and sun. But a lot of the clearing will take place later on tonight. We may have some clouds passing through for Friday morning, but otherwise a decent amount of sunshine as well. But as we head towards the overnight period, as we head towards Friday evening, the skies really begin to clear out. So we're looking pretty decent as we head towards your Friday. We just got to get through today first. Then we'll have to watch for a little bit more cloud cover as we head towards your Saturday with another wave of energy that might pass through. Some areas might still experience some icing this morning, mainly in the northern ends of the state. Nothing too extreme. Anything that falls will be less than 1/10 of an inch, so it might be slippery for a while, but nothing too extreme. Any additional snowfall by this point as well won't be anything too ridiculous either. It'll mainly be in the northern ends of the state where a few inches can fall as most of us are switching over to that wintry mix and, of course, all rain at this point. And, of course, beyond 9 a.m., any additional rainfall won't be too ridiculous, maybe 1/10 of an inch or less before we're all finished up there. So your forecast for today looks a little bit like this. We'll be in the lower 40s today. That wintry mix is switching over to all rain. That southeast wind getting up to about 30 miles per hour. Later on tonight, 15 degrees, decreasing clouds on the way as the precipitation tapers off. That west wind at about 30 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, mid-20s, mostly sunny, west wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. All righty, here's a look at Maryland Monroe Spa's extended forecast. So a slight chance for snow showers on Saturday, otherwise mostly cloudy, highs in the upper 30s. Mid-30s on Sunday, rain and snow showers back in the forecast. Mostly cloudy Monday, highs in the mid-20s.
Bathfitter is a better way to remodel your tub. Precise measuring means the perfect fit. The Bathfitter tub-over-tub process means no mess or stress. A custom-made tub and seamless wall mean a watertight fit. Premium acrylic means it lasts a lifetime. And all this together means a great value. Bathfitter, it just fits. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Angie's List is now Angie, and it's easier than ever to get your projects done right. With Angie, you can connect with top pros and see ratings and reviews. And when you book and pay through Angie, you're covered by our happiness guarantee. Check out Angie.com today. Angie, and done.
BuyAToyota.com is Toyota's official website for deals with the most comprehensive selection of Toyota offers available. You'll see every official Toyota deal out there, including offers not seen on TV. Plus, you can search inventory and get a free independent trade-in value. Right now, you could save with 3.99% financing on an all-wheel drive Camry. And every Camry comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance and more. BuyAToyota.com when you officially want the best deal. Toyota, let's go places.
People today, they could spend half their lives over 50, but it's gonna take some planning.
What can you do for me?
Make sure your money lives as long as you do. The younger you are, the more you need AARP. Join today.
One good guess.
Cursed romance. Star-crossed lovers.
You better work! Deserves another.
Egyptian writing.
Hieroglyphics.
Wow! I felt like the person shouting wrong answers in the study group.
And another.
Opposite water? Sand.
25 words or less.
You did it again. You're going home with another $10,000.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.